Hello, Ani, and welcome to the Skill Drill iPad Applications online tutorial brought to you by Kenja Gawente. I'm your host, Jennifer Hollub. There's a great number of Skill Drill applications for the iPad, and Skill Drill in math is especially a great activity to do for students to do on the iPad because it's individualistic, they can practice it, and the iPad certainly makes it fun and engaging to do rote learning such as Skill Drill. When we talk about Skill Drill, we're talking about the operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So I have my Skill Drill apps in the math folder here. My favorite one, hands down, has got to be Math Zombies, and I'm sure I've showed you in sessions before if you've been in some of my sessions. There is sound. You can turn the sound off by going into the settings function here, but we'll let the sound play. So we press play, and the students can choose from addition to subtraction or multiplication and division. Well, let's go with multiplication. All right. So we can choose our difficulty level. I'll keep it with easy so that I can make sure that I can do this at the same time while I talk. What I really like about this app is that the zombies are approaching and the student has to solve the question on top of the zombie's head. By inputting it, the gun will go off, but what I really like is that it doesn't kill the zombie, it just transforms them into nice people. So I know that shooting games are a little controversial in schools, of course, but this is a very friendly take on the whole shooting concept. If the zombies do approach, then they bump and you lose your power up here, and then they go to the back of the line. This app is great because it'll notice that the student is struggling and will prompt them to choose a different difficulty level if needed. Okay, so that's Math Zombies. If you want to pause and choose another difficulty level right away, you can go to these boxes, go back, go to the settings down here, and choose a different difficulty level right away. Here's where you can also turn the music off. Okay, let's exit out of there by pressing on the home button. My other favorite app for Skill Drill is Math Drills. This is an app that is not free, in fact. There is a light version, which is okay, but I've opted to pay, I think it's $2 for the full version, because you can input different students, and it will track the particular student's results. Oh, we're getting a little bit of off focus here. Okay, so the student chooses a mode of operation, and here's what happens. They input their answer. Okay. Now, I have it set to practice mode, which means that if I'm struggling, this down here will give me a number line prompt. So it's saying, okay, start at 10 and then move back 8 spaces. So maybe the student has learned this mode of operation by using number lines. They can scroll through and, oops, I went too far. They can scroll through and there's this prompt, 10 minus 8 equals what number? So, blocks to start with 10, and then take away 8. Depending on how the student has learned these math operations, they might be these prompts might be very useful for them. Here we have a chart, 10 minus 8 equals what number? And here we have different answer choices. Alright, so the student can be prompted, but let's say that they choose the wrong answer. You'll see what happens. I'll just go along here. Again, I'll choose the wrong answer. Okay, and it gives them 10. And then it gives them that feedback right away. Not all the problems were answered correctly. Would you like to correct the missed problems? Okay, so this is what I love about the app as well. It indicates what they had. So you have 3. Sorry, we're getting a little out of focus, but that just seems to happen a little bit with these screens. Okay, focus. There we go. And then it prompts the student to choose a different answer. Okay? So they can really reflect back on what they had and what they should have had. So you answered all the problems. Okay. So you can change the student here by inputting selecting a different student. and it will track their results. You will get some scores here that you can check up with. So this is a good app because you don't have to be helicoptering over top of the student to see how they're doing. You can helicopter around to different students who are using the same app and free up yourself in that way and still understand how the students are doing. Well, let's exit out of that one. So that's another favorite of mine. Other than that, you can look up different apps, but those are the two that I would strongly recommend. Some students who need to use iPads for maybe an IEP or something along those lines often struggle with having to focus on math, as we might know. And sometimes I'll hear teachers and educational assistants say, I work with, little Johnny, for example, hypothetical name. I work with little Johnny. Little Johnny loves dinosaurs. If something does not have a dinosaur in it, he is not interested in dinosaurs. Well, what I would suggest to educational assistants and teachers that work one-on-one with students who do have a passion for something is to be a little creative and go into the App Store and look for something that has a certain theme that is still educational. For example, going on our dinosaur idea, I have found some skill drill apps that have dinosaurs in them. So here we go. Let's do multiplication again. Cancel. This is the free version, so you'll see how it goes. Oh, looks like I have minus. That's okay. Okay, and you'll see what happens after a while. So it's giving them some prompts, some possible answers. If they get the incorrect one, it gives them that feedback, that visual, that that's not the correct answer, and to try again. Maybe you can guess what's going to happen, what we're drawing here. Okay, I'll do another incorrect answer just so that we can see if it gives us any feedback like the other one did. Those are good attributes of apps to look for, things that give feedback, that keeps track of a student's progress. Those are all very useful both for the student and the teacher as well in terms of apps in the classroom. And this must be set to a setting where it gives a lot of questions. So those sort of things can be changed in the settings. Looks like I'm finished, and as you may have guessed, it outlines a dinosaur, and you can color in the dinosaur. That little hovering finger was asking me if I wanted to color it, and of course I do. This is so much fun. All right, coloring the dinosaur and coloring the background as well. Oops. Okay, well, let's go on to the next puzzle. All right, there we go. So we'll exit out of there. So again, if you have a student that's passionate about something like dinosaurs or robots or trains, try looking in the App Store for something like Train Edition or Dinosaur Skill Drill, something like that. You'll never know. They might not have it, but if they do, I'm sure that it'll be very, very helpful for the student you work with. Well, I hope this has been helpful, and please do check out the other iPad application online tutorials on the FNSSP blog. Thank you for joining me.